Hello, Senior NCO Academy staff. I am Senior Master Sergeant Patrick Haney, and I'm going to be doing the IST on the Capstone. So if you go into your course, you're going to click on Modules. You're going to go to Miscellaneous Lesson Plans, and you'll see the Capstone here. So go ahead and open that Capstone lesson plan. As you can see, it's going to be 300 minutes. Prerequisites are to have all outcomes complete. You're going to scroll down to main point 1, which is your personal leadership philosophy assignment. That is a written assignment for the students, and it is a 1-page paper. It's going to culminate in a 1 to 3 sentence leadership philosophy, and they will have a professional looking photo. It doesn't necessarily have to be an official military photo, just one of the student in uniform. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the example of this. So you're going to go back to modules, and this will be the same way the students will get to it. They're going to scroll down to the written assignment, click on the link. It'll explain what I just explained to you. Click on the PLP example. Here's their photo. Starts off with 6 to 8 lines maximum, which is just their quick bio. They're going to write out what their leadership philosophy is, and it's going to culminate in those 1 to 3 sentences, which is their leadership philosophy statement, just like you would do if you were talking about your mission and then you had a mission statement. Okay, let's go back over to our lesson plan. And main point 2 is our course map student discussion. That is going to be 60 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate over to that. And this is not published, so it's available for the instructors, but not for the students. So you'll click on this link. So you can see it says the file provided is to be used in facilitating a conversation that connects individual lessons with outcomes that they aren't organically connected with. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'm going to click on the hyperlink, open the file. All right. So describe how the lesson reinforces the module outcome in the spaces provided. So the very first lessons are going to be your leadership lessons. As you can see, it doesn't start off with the intro lesson because that's not the meat and potatoes. You also won't have a wrap up for the problem solving. So our first lesson, and I'll show you how to do this, we're going to start off with leading a multi-generational workforce. So you'll say, students, who can tell me how leading a multi-generational workforce connects to the mission outcome, which is to connect air and space organizations and capabilities to joint operations. And the students may say, well, we may have different generations across joint operations when we're leading soldiers or Marines or Coast Guardsmen. And so we need to understand how their generation works into joint operations as well. They may give you valid answers just like that, as long as they're not completely off base and the conversation is moving. Once you feel like you've gotten a satisfactory answer, move on. Effective onboarding and training. How might effective onboarding and training go into the mission outcome, which is to connect air and space organizations and capabilities to joint operations? Well, if we don't effectively onboard our people, then we can't accomplish our mission because they won't feel like they're a valued part of our organization, which leads to mission readiness. Okay, that's a great answer. Moving on, innovation, agility, and lethality. And you'll go all the way down until you're done. Then you start off again with problem solving and how leadership connects to problem solving. The reason why I skipped leadership is because organically these are a part of leadership. So that goes back to that word, right? Once they've connected all these lesson plans to problem solving, and if they can just barely connect them, they connected them, right? Don't let them just give you something that doesn't make any sense. If it doesn't make any sense, just move on. So go all the way down through problem solving and then culture. Then you start off again over here on the left with problem solving. How does it connect to mission? How does it connect to leadership? Obviously blacked out as problem solving because it's a part of that. And then culture. Moving on, you're going to go into culture, go through all those lessons, do mission, leadership, problem solving, and then finally mission into leadership, problem solving, and culture. And that's it. That's it for the course map. It's a 60-minute conversation. It shouldn't be stretched out. You don't have to continually follow up with questions. You just want them to make sure, you just want to make sure that they know how to connect these lessons to each one of these outcomes. All right, going back to my lesson plan, we're going to finish off with main point 3, which is our capstone inspirational and motivational briefing. All right, I know inspirational and motivational can be tough for some people, but we want them to try. It's going to be a 5 to 7 minute briefing. This is basically them turning their PLP assignment into something that they would give at an ALS, an FTAC, or a JROTC event, or any other event of that type. You've got some questions that they need to ask themselves, and you need to ask them as a part of this. So how will you capture the attention of your audience? What will hook your chosen group? You know, how will you connect to the group? It's just things to help them develop that speech. But the main thing here is they need to turn whatever those 1 to 3 sentences were in their PLP assignment into a briefing that they can use and take back to their work centers. And maybe they're just standing up in front of a group of airmen at commander's call, or a group of airmen in their flight or their work center. But we want them to be able to articulate what their leadership philosophy is to those people. And that's it for the capstone. It's really 3 main points. It's very quick. It's 300 minutes. There's not a lot to it, but it's very important, and we want them to understand exactly what their leadership philosophy is and how the outcomes connect to each other in this course. Thanks for your time, and have a great Air Force Day.